welcome and get ready. It's time to whiz through the highlights from the Thursday night Cannes Lions Awards show. I'm Ria Hebden, and for the first time this year, Cannes Lions is letting everyone, everywhere, have access to the Lions Awards shows. Every day this week, we're showcasing key highlights, sharing lots of Lion-winning creative work, giving you behind-the-scenes peeks, and making sure you get the inside scoop from Cannes Lions, right here on the French Riviera. And it's all because the Cannes Lions International Festival of Creativity has been championing creative excellence since 1954, with the goal of providing a definitive global benchmark for creativity that drives progress. This week, thousands of brilliant creatives, marketing geniuses, agency and media professionals are here with us in the south of France to enjoy outstanding creative work from all over the world, with everyone hoping that they too have done what it takes to win a lion. So let's kick off with the 5 biggest stories from our 4th day here on the French Riviera. First up, Netflix confirmed its move to have some advertising on its platform. Speaking on stage, the company's co-CEO, Ted Sarandos, confirmed the streaming service will be launching a new ad tier sooner rather than later. The new creative B2B Lions has got off to a strong start with 415 entries from 37 countries. And the first creative B2B Lions Grand Prix went to a piece by Wonderman Thompson Minneapolis for Sherwin-Williams Coil Coatings for the first campaign the client has ever entered into the awards. The metaverse is proving to be a hot topic here at the festival. Agencies Wonderman Thompson and McCann World Group created their own Cannes-themed metaverse experiences. And Meta is offering free tutorials on the beach. Cannes Lions and Twitter teamed up to explore how the metaverse can also be sustainable. More young people than ever before have experienced the inspiration of Cannes Lions this year. Over 130 young industry professionals have taken part in one of the festival's Young Lions Academies, learning the skills they need to grow and thrive within the industry. And the top story that you really need to know is we had a Nobel Peace Prize winner on stage. Malala Yousafzai is at the festival to collect the Cannes Lionheart Award. Before that, she delivered a keynote address to the Cannes Lions audience where she shared how to create change with the next generation. Now, time for some fun. Let's go to the red carpet and see what people were doing before they went into Thursday's award show. Can you share one of your favourite photos that you've taken from this week with us?
Issa Rae. So she is incredible and she's stylish and...
This one.
Oh, you're on the iconic stairs here at Cannes Lions.
Red carpet.
I saw Dua Lipa at the Spotify party and I brought my camera with me and so I took some pictures of Dua. Cool. I know, my favorite pictures ever.
It's our 4 here on the red carpet like yesterday.
This photo right here.
Oh, I love this one. It looks like you're having the best time. So show our camera.
Look at this.
You know, I do have a favorite photo, so there's been a lot of entertainment in the evening. I'm a mom of 3 and I never go out, so...
Oh, good for you. So this has been a great week.
Yes, with some of my team at Procter & Gamble last night. Can you see it?
This is you with your peers?
Yeah.
Procter & Gamble.
Procter & Gamble. We had a good time.
And share with us one of your favourite photos from the festival.
Just about an hour ago, I saw Megan Thee Stallion.
Right.
And so that's my photo there. Where she was talking about the collaboration with Frito-Lay and staying authentic to herself, and it was just awesome.
Make history. That's what everyone's doing here this year at the festival.
Okay, this is an ad by Dove, and it's really asking people to be themselves.
This is you with your colleagues on the iconic stairs of the Palais de Festival.
After we won the Grand Prix last night.
And what did you win your Grand Prix for?
For Dole and Anas and Pinatex.
Amazing. Huge congratulations. And how did you guys celebrate?
Not on camera.
Now let's get into some of the great creative work that's already been winning the big prizes here at Cannes Lions. There are 29 lions this year, and for every one of them, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of world-class entries from all over the globe. An international jury of experts in the field then selects a shortlist for each lion, and from this list, winners are selected to win bronze, silver and gold lions. And if there's a truly outstanding piece of work, a Grand Prix. So let's now see what a Grand Prix winning piece of work actually looks like. Here is the first ever creative B2B Lions Grand Prix, won by Wonderman Thompson Minneapolis for Speaking in Colour.
Our world is filled with colour. In fact, the human eye can detect over 1 million of them. So how do you find that one colour? The one that you, and only you, can see. Introducing Speaking in Colour from Sherwin-Williams. The first ever AI colour system is designed to help architects find colours based on personal inspiration. All they have to do is say the words.
Let's try crystal clear Caribbean Ocean.
Through conversation and the intuitive power of AI, users easily discover,
Maybe that's too blue. Let's lighten it up just a little bit.
refine,
I like that. Let's add a little bit more green.
and find their 1 in a million colour.
I love it. That's perfect.
But that's just the beginning.
Let's see the colors from the art district in Miami.
Snow Canyon, Utah.
Speaking in Colour is providing insights into cultural and geographical influences of individual hues to create the largest data set of colour attribution in the world. Inspired by human experience, Sherwin-Williams is redefining how people connect with colour, making it possible to find the impossible, the 1 in a million. Now tell us, what inspires you?
Okay, firstly, congratulations on winning. The first question is, what do you think made your work Grand Prix winning?
Where do we start? I mean, thank you to the jury. I think it's hopefully a version of colour that no one's ever really seen before or thought that they could access it in that way. Just to express yourself and ask for what you want, I think is pretty fresh and hopefully pretty inspiring and pretty, original. So and unconventional, and I guess that's what all the jury are all looking for.
It's also about putting the power in the hand of the architects, so that they can choose the color that they like, that they get inspired by. So I think that has helped as well.
For me, I think it's really brave of the client Sherwin-Williams to push the conversation into the hands of the architects, to give them the opportunity to describe a color rather than forcing them to react to whatever colors are available. It's a great connection between the business and the business owners to get that done.
And what does it mean to you to have won a Grand Prix?
This means so much to us. Wonderman Thompson is an agency that's unlike any other because we have the power of creativity and inspiration along with technology and data and such a wide offering within our walls. And we want to make sure everyone sees that and that we can bring the power of all of that to bear for our clients.
And last question, what message do you have for everyone who you collaborated with, everyone who worked on this, who are back home tonight?
Thank
you so much.
You were amazing.
Yeah.
You were amazing.
We have the most amazing team.
I'm joined now by the wonderful Atifa Silk, who is the Managing Director at Haymarket Media. Welcome, Atifa. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me here.
Lovely to have you here. Tell us, how has tonight's awards gone?
Oh, do you know what? It was spectacular. Every piece of work that they showed was so inspiring, and you had the crowd just applauding. Everything just stood out. It was incredible.
Oh, it's just so wonderful to hear. So let's talk about this first piece of work, because this is the first ever creative B2B Lions. What do you think the jury was looking for?
So this is really interesting, right? To have creative B2B Lions now celebrated at Cannes. And it's a real milestone, I think, for the category. And you saw that with some of the work that came out. So what was the jury looking for? They were looking for work that had brilliant data, that had the insights, but that also had the craft. So that's really what stood out for this winning piece of work.
Okay, and how do the creativity levels in work for B2B compare to that for consumers?
I think honestly, it's really hard to compare the two, but at the same time, I think the work that you see in B2B is very complex and it is very data driven. And the thing is, the results of the work are measurable. But I think all we're going to see is the standard of work improve in the B2B category, and having it recognized at Lions in comparison to the consumer work as well, is only going to help raise those standards.
Fantastic. Now, big congratulations, of course, go to Wonderman Thompson Minneapolis because they've won their Grand Prix. But wow, I mean, how is their client a paint brand? It's quite out there, isn't it? I mean, this is the first ever entry into Cannes Lions and they've gone and won a Grand Prix.
I know. Do you know what? How jealous are we all about that? So how lucky can you get?
Wow.
But it's more than just luck, because this is such an inspiring story, and the insight that went into this is what won the jury over. So I think it's really interesting, and you can see that the client is overjoyed, overwhelmed, right? As you probably would be, and incredibly proud. So it's a life-changing moment.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for your thoughts so far. Do stick around. We've got more to comment on later on in the show. Now, the magical thing about Cannes Lions is that anyone, anywhere can enter and has just as much chance to win a lion as anyone else. So we're running a daily feature highlighting creatives from all over the world talking through their entry to Cannes Lions this year. Today we're off to New Zealand to meet Lisa, Tracy and Rory from Special Auckland.
I'm Lisa Fedishin, Executive Creative Director at Special Group.
My name is Rory Gallery. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer at Special New Zealand.
Hello, I'm Tracy Lee. I'm Independent Brand Strategist and initiator of Every Kiwi Vote Counts. So the name of the Lions entry is Medal in the New Zealand Election, with a micro budget set out to mobilise overseas New Zealanders, or Kiwi as we're known, to vote in the 2020 election. So we infiltrated their news feeds and social media with a Russian spokesperson who incited them to vote in the election. It was an 18-day campaign, socially led, a lot of pokey PR, and a punchy website sitting underneath it that broke out of all election campaign conventions.
So we started with renaming I Vote New Zealand to Every Kiwi Vote Counts to emphasise this influence. And this was in 2020, post-US election meddling, that Russia had huge geopolitical influence and involvement in. And this was a concept that was understood around the world and one that we unflinchingly leaned into. So to incite overseas Kiwis to get involved, we had our Russian spokesperson, Victor, ask overseas New Zealanders to meddle rather than vote in their own election, which we knew would seize overseas Kiwis' attention in a provocative and shareable way.
And like any good meddler, we got results. With the largest turnout in history, 42% increase in overseas resident voters, and the largest shift in election seats since 1999.
So we entered Cannes Lions because we really value creative effectiveness. And I guess this really ties in with our belief that the most creative work will be the most effective work. So to be awarded for something like that would be pretty special and would mean a lot to us.
To me, it means hope. Hope that creativity will increasingly return to the creative problem solving, many of the challenges that we face. And we look to positively impact not just culture, but democracy and our future.
Lovely work there, fantastic. And good luck to the Special Auckland team this week. Now, let's move on. This is a fast-moving highlight show after all. Next up, we're going to the Lumiere stage in the Palais de Festival here in Cannes. It's literally 4 floors down from our studio. We're going to see the jury president of the Social and Influencer Alliance, Caitlin Ryan, who's also the vice president of Meta's EMEA Creative Shop. The Social and Influencer Alliance celebrate creative social thinking and strategic influencer marketing solutions. And here's Caitlin explaining in front of thousands of people in the theatre how her jury selected their Grand Prix winner, followed by the Social and Influencer Alliance Grand Prix winning work.
What my jury and I were determined to do is not be retrospective about social and influencer. We really wanted to define the future of it. And many of you have been reaching out to us saying, this is the category I want to win in. What are your top tips? What did you see in the work that won tonight that made the difference? So I'm going to give you a top tip. I want you all of you, to hold the hand of the person next to you in this pavilion. Everybody, hold that even if you don't know them. So I hope you're all doing it, even if you don't know them. What you are doing right now, hold up the hands. You are connecting and you are participating. And that's what the best brands do in this space. So the best in social and influencer is not about just one tweet that gets fame and buzz and scales. It is about this connection and co-creating with culture. So you need to work with communities and build the work with them, not for them. And the way to do that is, as you're building your work, look around the room and look who's in the room with you. If you don't have somebody that's representative of the community or the culture that you're trying to tap into, then change the casting. And my final top tip is the jury and I were just so pleased to see humour and laughter come back into the work, and it makes sense, and you're going to see it in the work that we awarded. Use the full spectrum, the rainbow of emotions, because that's the way the best ideas will be socialised, and that's the work you'll see tonight.
Thank you, Kate.
The British Museum is a public institution dedicated to human history, art and culture. Come discover over 80,000 works from around the world, here in London. You are now viewing the Greagle Shield. Captain James Cook was a British event.
We're now looking at the Greagle Shield, which was taken from my people.
I'd say the British Museum is the world's largest receiver of stolen goods. We're launching an interactive tour of some of its most contested artifacts.
There were two foreign powers in rivalry over Egypt. One of them won over the other, and they took the war spoils of the other.
I feel I've received a balanced narrative.
Museums around Europe are slowly realizing that exhibiting items taken by force hundreds of years ago from other countries is kind of gross. And it's about time. We can't change the past, but we can change how we engage with it in the present.
Atifa, we actually saw this yesterday. Has it gone and won 2 Grand Prix?
It sure has. Are
Well
you
deserved,
surprised?
though. Well deserved. I mean, I'm sure historians and people all over the world will welcome this.
Yeah, it's really incredible, because one of the questions the jury president had was, how do you define the future of social and influencer? And I think this does it, right? This does it on so many different levels. So it has won 2 Grand Prix, and it's incredible because what it's done is really connected communities. And that's just, that's not always easy to do. But with this piece of work, it's touching multiple layers, answering multiple questions as well.
So important, isn't it? It's also helping rewrite the narrative of history as it actually was, learning more about those artifacts. Let's talk about augmented reality, because that's been around for a while. Are we going to start to see more of this moving into campaigns moving forward?
I'd like to say yes, and I think if you asked me this a couple of years ago, I would have said I'm not so sure. But I think as wearable technology is becoming a bit more mainstream, we're having more access to different kinds of applications. It gives agencies and brands a lot more opportunities to try and experiment and innovate. So I think we're going to see more of this work moving forward.
Okay, fantastic. Well, stick around. We've got more great work coming up. Let's now turn to some of the conversations you're having on social. Oh, this is a nice picture. So this is the crew from the WGSN team who have all got together, looking very colourful there. Lovely photo. Aha, now this says, huge congratulations to the Fireflies team for completing their 1,000 kilometre cycle, which they do here in Cannes every year to raise money for charity. Wonderful. Oh, and here's Frankie the Dinosaur, who's making friends there on Cannes Beach. He's saying, don't choose extinction, hitting home that very important message about climate change. Okay, now for something completely different. We're going to drop in to one of the jury debriefing sessions on the Insight stage here in the Palais Festival. Let's check out the film Craft Lions jury debrief with jury president and Smuggler co-founder Patrick Milling-Smith.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the film Craft Debrief. My name's Lara, and I'm delighted to be joined today with Patrick Milling-Smith, as well as Naoko Tashima and Christopher Thierry. Do you want to tell us a little bit how the judging experience went?
It was tough. We were very surprised with how few lions it felt like we had to give out, because there was a ton of great work.
For me, it was really
Very inspiring.
It was like amazing, 3 days in a dark room all together. This is the real chemistry to me.
Was there anything in particular you and the rest of the jury were looking for when judging the work?
Or craft. Obviously, there's a base level. You're assuming it's going to be good because it's in selection at Cannes. But has it been really elevated by the craftsmanship? There's so much content in the world right now. There's so much media. And our feeling was if you take an idea and you really craft it and you put that obsession and that passion into it, then it's going to rise above the noise of everything else.
I think that it's a real example when craft helps the story to be elevated. Everything is based on emotion and the way the director directed those people, but you believe in it.
I felt there's so much love from each of the staff that went into this. So I'm kind of like with the camera, traveling with the characters.
Telling a story and telling an emotional story and taking people on a journey is the oldest thing in humanity. There were probably some new techniques in there, but really there was some age-old classic filmmaking sort of perfectly executed.
Do you have any advice for future entrants?
Just try entering if you think it's really good work, because it doesn't have to be big scale. It's really the idea and the execution from the core, concept.
The craft category is almost rewarding obsession. Like people have to be, like filmmakers have to be so obsessed with every little detail to make something that is Cannes Lion worthy.
Amazing insight here. Now it's time for us to take you behind the scenes again. Perhaps the most coveted call in the industry is the one inviting you to be a jury president at Cannes Lions. Let's follow Amani Duncan, CEO of BBH and jury president of the Entertainment Lions for Music, as she prepares for a day of judging and see what it's like to be back on the jury in Cannes.
Welcome, Cannes Lions. Come to my hotel room. My name is Amani Duncan, and I am the president of Entertainment Lions for Music. This is my first time being jury president, and I'm so excited. When I was offered the role of being jury president, I was in complete shock. I didn't expect it. Serving as jury president and actually being in Cannes, able to sit across the table with my jury is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. There's nothing like human connection. It just enhances the process and the work. My favorite thing about judging Cannes Lions in person is the dialogue. The conversations, the debates over the work, the passion that everyone has, the laughs, the camaraderie. It's just an amazing experience. And I'm so happy to be able to be here in this beautiful city experiencing it all with Cannes Lions. Working with the jury this year is actually so pleasant. It almost feels like we're a group of old friends. It's quite uncanny. So I feel very lucky. We're all very passionate about music, so the conversations have been very spirited, but very respectful because we do have a lot of admiration for each other. But there's always one or a few pieces of work that are a little provocative. That always brings about a bit of healthy spirited debate, to say the least. But it's all very exciting. What excites me personally about an entry is if it provokes within me FOMO. If I feel jealous of the work, like, oh gosh, why didn't we think of this? You always look for that piece of work that you can't stop thinking about it even after you leave the jury room. The competition is high. I mean, this is Cannes Lions, so everyone has to come with their A game. It's the best of the best. The advice I would give to someone submitting their work is be really thoughtful and intentional about the categories that you submit your work in, because then you have a better chance of actually making the shortlist and maybe even being awarded a medal.
Let's now look at another of the big winners from Tuesday's awards show. The PR Lions celebrate the craft of strategic and creative communication. Entries need to demonstrate how original thinking, transformative insight and a strategy rooted in earned media has influenced opinion and driven business, societal and cultural change. So let's now see the brilliant piece of work that won the 2022 PR Lions Grand Prix and meet the people who made it.
Meestal kijk je dan te horen, die veranderen toch nooit niet. Laten we daar maar gewoon zitten. Het is niet omdat we een fout maken dat we niet kunnen veranderen, maar dat we niet in mensen meer zijn.
As a retailer who makes sport accessible, Decathlon gave 6 prison inmates the chance to become the first e-cycling team for prisoners.
Dat is een mijlpaal, hè? Dat het online is in de gevangenis.
Racing with people from the outside world on Zwift, as anonymous athletes instead of outcasts.
In dat programma zitten er ook aan de andere kant andere mensen ook op een fiets te fietsen, gelijk ik.
Reconnecting them with society from behind bars.
When I heard about this initiative, I was just like, I need to ride with these guys. Just show them that people outside care about them and they want them to change and they want them to have a better life.
Van het moment dat ik qua verzuring en zo had naar binnen, en dan begon ik mij te motiveren, dat was heel mooi, dat was echt, ja.
Showing the real power of a virtual sport.
Okay, firstly, congratulations on winning. The first question is, what do you think made your work Grand Prix winning?
I think because it's a long-term project, because it's a lasting project that makes a real impact in people's life, and it's about PR obviously, but it's not just about PR, it's about a real impact. It's not just about making newspaper headlines.
And what does it mean to you to have won a Grand Prix?
It's actually the second one we won, because yesterday we won one as well, and it's double as special. So yeah, it's a dream coming true, because never in Belgium did one project win 2 Grand Prix. So
it feels great also to inspire a lot of young Belgian people with this award. We got a lot of compliments and people just showing a lot of love, and I mean it really means a lot to inspire that many creatives in Belgium.
Fantastic. And the last question is, what message do you have for everyone else who worked on this project, everyone you worked with together to get this Grand Prix who are at home tonight? What message do you have for them?
Thank you so much.
yeah, we made it with a small team, but not as small as this team. So there are a lot of people at home there. Yeah, all the love, because this one and the one we won yesterday, that's for them. Yeah.
Atifa, a lovely campaign there. Now, the PR Lions are often very vibrant, exciting and highly competitive. Why do you think the judges went for this particular piece of work?
Do you know what? This is one of my favorite pieces of work. And when I sat there at the awards show, watching this come up on stage, it just made the hairs on my arms stand up, because
it's so emotive, isn't it?
It's so emotive, it's so powerful, you know, and just the change that it's bringing about. And that's what every brand, every marketer is aspiring towards, right? To really bring about some positive social change and impact. So this piece of work, there was a lot of good work, right? Yeah. There's a lot of great work in this particular category, and there was a lot of debate, I think, within the jury. But the work that, you know, was separating itself from the good to become great stood out. It just rose to the top, and it was really obvious, right? These are real gold winners, and that's what you've just seen here.
Fantastic. Now, this was an actual low-budget piece of work, and that's not unusual in the PR Lions. Do you think the lack of resources helped to increase the creativity here?
Yeah, I think possibly, because if you think about how do you define creativity, right?
So broad.
Yes, so broad. But what is it that leads to creativity? It's diverse thinking, it's great insights, it's finding that nugget, it's having that big idea, all of those things. And I don't think it's necessarily about the budget. You know, some of the best award-winning campaigns that we've seen at Cannes Lions over the years has been from a small budget. but a very big idea.
Okay, and I make this the third Grand Prix for BBDO this week. What's driving their success, do you think? What's their magic sauce?
Well, they are one of the best networks out there, so I'm not too surprised. But I think all of the stories that we've seen coming out from BBDO various offices this year at Cannes Lions are personalized. They're very emotive. You know, they're using all spectrums of the emotion, whether it's sadness, it's humor, it's hope, it's touching on all of those emotions that we can all connect with. So I think it's using all of that to build powerful stories and clearly award-winning work.
Thank you, Atifa. It's been great having you on the show today. Well, that's it for Thursday's awards show. This week is certainly flying by. We have just one more award show to come, and it will be our biggest and best yet. We'll be cramming in as many highlights as we can from the 3-hour Friday night finale here in Cannes. So yes, we'll be broadcasting on the weekend tomorrow, but trust me, you'll not want to miss the climax to this year's Cannes Lions Awards. I look forward to seeing you then, but for now, to close today's show, we're going back to the red carpet to hear from some more of Thursday night's Lions winners.
Cool, all right guys, so we're here at day 4 of the award ceremony for Cannes Lions 2022. Can you believe I haven't even got my hands on an award yet? So I'm gonna make it my mission to try and get my hands on a Cannes Lions award so I can celebrate, bring the vibes and bring the energy with all of the winners. Let's go.
With this line, we're gonna go home and we're gonna start thinking of the next one.
With this lion! No, 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 no.
With this lion, I'm gonna sleep tonight.
With this lion, we're gonna
With this lion, we're gonna grow.
With this lion, I'm going to invite more women from Ecuador to Cannes next year.
That is it for day 4 of Cannes Lions. We'll be speaking to the winners tomorrow for our final day. We'll see you then.